We are here on Saturday, February 12, 2022, in the second weekend of the Chennai Storytelling Festival. And now we're going to have a workshop titled Reconnecting with Oneself Through Memories. So Ramya and Mashuda, please introduce yourselves fully and tell us about your work, and please lead us in this workshop.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Smita, right, for the wonderful workshop before. I think it has set the tone for us already. I'm Ramya Arivazhagan. I've been, working with stories for 10 years now. So I'm a storyteller, educator in the alternative education, trained in Montessori and Waldorf. And I'm also a homeschooling mom. So I have a twin boys and daughter who are homeschooled. My work has been, our vision has been to bring in a society where, every opportunity is given to everyone in this life. Even when it comes to children, I feel equal opportunities will build up a good society. So my work has been mostly with public schools and NGOs, and taking these alternative methodologies to the public schools. I'm also working on mother language since our mother language is Tamil. So I'm doing a lot of work in mother language. And reconnecting with memories, I guess it's from my own experience. So I had a very, a traumatic childhood, and these, there are a few things which helped me to heal myself. So I'm bringing it back to everyone else as a workshop. So that's about me. Mashuda? Yeah.
This is Mashuda Muthi from Chennai. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Mashuda Muthi from Chennai. I am from Chennai Storytellers. Right now, I'm doing a research work on emotional intelligence for children. Ramya, please start, Ramya.
Yeah. Okay. So before we go, into the workshop, so let's take a deep breath. So I want all of you to close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath and imagine the best memory we had in our lives. As a child, walking through the beach, looking at the waves, feel the silence of the waves, feel the motions that's happening. Imagine the best sunrise you have ever seen. Just sink into this moment. Take a deep breath. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. So I'm very happy to welcome you all to the workshop, Reconnecting with Oneself Through Memories. So we are our memories. Do we all agree with this? At most of our life, at many of our, critical moments, there is always a memory that just knocks our door and says, hey, I'm here. I'm here, just see me. A famous psychologist once said, if we remembered everything in our lives, what happened, we will be as ill as if we don't remember anything at all. So imagine what will happen if we remember every moment of our life from day one when we were born, every cry, every smile. It doesn't make sense, right? Do our brains be able to hold this? So there are a lot of questions, but we choose to remember certain memories with most detail. Sometimes we remember, the dress color in that particular situation, the ice cream we ate, the taste of that particular food. This all has been, stored as a memory. Science call this, many words, selective memory, this memory, that memory. But we only remember memories that resonate with us as a soul. Deep inside our soul, there is someone sitting and telling us, hey, this will help you. This will, help you to construct you as a personality. So we only remember what makes us or what defines us as a personality. And we store these memories very deep. We don't know whether this is there or not there, but yet it comes up. When I look at an ice cream or, my favorite food, I remember I'm having it in my favorite hotel with my father. And this makes this food very special for me. So I always had this question, why do we remember that particular memory? Why? What makes sense to me? Trust me, when I reflected these memories, I could find a deep connection with myself and why I came to choose here or be here in this earth. It gave me a clear definition of, who am I? Irrespective of what I'm doing in this life. But there is a person inside me who is always, collecting things for my next journeys. But unfortunately, we can't choose this memory. We don't do this consciously that, hey, I like this memory, so let me choose this forever. And, use it whenever I want. It doesn't happen that way. These memories can act as a key and tell us, oh, this is what the pattern you have in your life. And this pattern starts at a very low level. We just think that, we need to be thinking about complicated, we need to think about our anger, negative emotions, positive, so many things. But to me, it starts from every choice we are making. So before we get into, some good exercises, I would like to share with you all my own memory as a child. This particular memory has brought back so much to me as an individual. So as a storyteller, I would like to start long time ago, but it's not so long. So I was probably in 5th grade when this memory, was stored. Those days, we had a grandmother's place, which is 30 kilometers from Chennai. And what makes it very exciting for me as a child is that halfway we have a public transport to this place, to my grandmother's place. And after that, you would either take a bullock cart or, a horse cart, or, sometimes my father takes a cycle, rent a cycle and take us. Sometimes we walk. This last 3 kilometers is something you can imagine to walk through any day in my life. The trees, the graveyard in the middle. So everything comes to my memory every time I look at it. So this was one such journey. We have been to our, my grandmother's place, and myself, my father, mother, and my sister. And we were supposed to buy our Diwali dress when we are coming back. So my father was insisting, 3 o'clock is the last bus. We have to get this bus, otherwise we are not going to the shop. So yet we were late because we had a lot of cousins playing, and then it was a huge family. My mother's family was so huge. She had 6 sisters and 6 brothers, and she was the 13th child. And imagine the number of cousins around you. So we just got late, and then my father said, no, we can't go to the shop now. We don't have enough time. We won't reach home at time. So my little sister was so upset about it, because in India, in those days, we don't buy a dress every, you don't buy a dress very often. We get to choose our dresses only 2 times in a year. One is for Diwali and another one is for Pongal. So this was for the Diwali, and then me and my sister were, discussing about what kind of dress we can buy. Would it be a green dress, black dress, for so many days? And finally, here comes the day where I don't get to buy a dress. So she started crying, and yet we started from that place, and then we reached the next bus stop, and we were waiting for the bus. The bus was very crowded, and me and my sister were, no, we don't get into this bus. But, after a few buses, my father, gave his iconic look, I would say. That means that you are getting into the next bus, whatever happens. No more questions, no more tantrums. So that one look put us back into, the reality that we are getting into the bus. So we got into the bus. Somehow we managed. So as we are children, somehow we managed to get a seat. It was a seat where 2 people can sit, but there was a lady sitting next to us, and I was sitting, and then near the window, and my sister was, on my lap. And my sister still, she started crying. I just missed that dress. I would have got a dress by this time. So, and we don't know also, sometimes the money we allocate, my father keeps for the dress. Sometimes if it gets, something else comes up, we might not get a dress at all for Diwali. So missing a chance is like missing your dress. So, so somehow I wanted to console her. Then I said, I read a book last week in the library. It was about Hercules, the brave warrior. So I'm going to tell you that story. And then she said, okay, let's start. So I was just into the story. I totally forgot myself, where we are, what we are doing. And after a few moments, and then I heard my father's voice, next stop we are getting down. And it was almost near our house. So I was looking at, how did the journey go? How did I forget everything around me? So, so this lady who was sitting, and I just looked around. There were very, very few people in the bus. My father and mother was sitting in the, 2 seats behind us. Oh, where did all people go? It was so crowded. And most of the people were looking at us. And this lady just woke up and came to me and said, your story was wonderful. And I'm going to share the story with my children. And this moment, I still remember the lady's face and her red sari, the green bus, and my sister's haircut. So every time, when I was asked to do a biography in Waldorf, or, every time someone asks me to, go back in your life and write about your memory, this is one memory that came up. And every time I had to make a choice, should I stay at home or travel? Should it be my own car or public transport? I always chose public transport because somehow I loved being there, being with people. So when I became an adult, when I became, I come from a family where you can't make choices, especially when you're a woman, you are not allowed to make choices. But yet I make my choices very clear, and my choices somehow fell into a pattern with this memory. So we all would have these kind of memories, which tells us why make a choice. So that was my, very profound memory, and it is just like I relive this memory every. So in this workshop, I invite all of you to go through your memories and walk each inch by inch and see why you stored this particular memory very deep. And walking through this memory very, very slowly, reflect and expand your consciousness and see what this memory tells me about myself as an individual. So, are we all ready? So I know, it's very, very deep when we go into a memory and we come back. So before we go into, a short exercise, I invite you all to join for a small song. So then we'll go for the exercises. Okay. Eric, can you share the presentation? And
Yes, let me try.
And take us to slide 4. Yeah.
Okay, just a moment. This is slide 1 and then 2.
Yeah. So next one, Eric. Next.
3,
Yeah, next one.
And 4.
Yeah, this one. Yeah. So this is a very famous Australian folk song. So we are going to do it with some actions. So wherever you are, if you are feeling very comfortable to stand, you can stand, or you can sit and do this also. Yeah. So the song goes like this. Time is a tempest and we are all travelers. We are all travelers. We are all travelers. Time is a tempest and we are all travelers, traveling through the storm. Let's go together. Time is a tempest and we are all travelers. We are all travelers. We are all travelers. Time is a tempest. We are all travelers, traveling through the storm. Next slide, Eric. So our minds are crowded, our memories are falling. War clouds inside, angry voices are calling. 5 minutes to midnight, there's no time for stalling. It's time to share our love. Together, our minds are crowded, our memories are falling. War clouds inside, angry voices are calling. 5 minutes to midnight, there is no time for stalling. It's time to share our love. So go into the last paragraph. Yeah, next slide. So lift up your voices and sing of the wind and rain. Sing of the wind and rain. Sing of the wind and rain. Lift up your voices and sing of the wind and rain. Traveling through the storm. So somehow, time just takes us to the storm all the time. Yeah. So next, what we are going to do, we are going to start from a very small place from our lives, the choices. So it's just a question, to tell us about the curiosity. How many choices do we think we are making every day? You can just type your answers in the chat. how many choices do we make in a day? Many? Yeah. So if we are thinking about a number, so what would be the number? Like 100, 1,000, hundreds? Yeah. 15,000. Yeah. So, science tells us an average person, makes 45,000 choices in a day. So consciously and subconsciously, it happens to all of us. So we don't see our choices so big, but yes, we are making a lot of choices, and these choices has some meaning to us. So the game we are going to play, as I think many of you would have been very familiar. It's a favorite game with all my students and children. It's called Would You Rather. So you would be given two choices. So you need to make any one of the choice. I'm just going to share my screen. Eric, I think I'll share my screen now.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you all are able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's start. So you can put your answers in the chat, or you can also write it down if you want to see it later. So we are just going to see 6 questions at a stretch. So I'm just going to take you through the slides. So would you rather, have some time to spend? You would use it for your yoga or an exercise session, or having a family meal? I'm just going to give you 30 seconds for each question. So when you are having a sweet tooth, you just want to have something sweet. So would you rather choose a fruit or a dessert? So when you're given a choice to, be at beach, would you rather choose to have a cup of coffee with sunrise at beach alone by yourself, or attend a beach party? So one day it becomes dinner time. So you have a choice of eating alone at your routine time, or just wait for a friend to come in another hour or so. So you would either, make your dinner to wait for your friend. So would you rather, choose to listen to your favorite song with all your family members, or, choose a movie which everyone wants and make it a family movie night? So would you rather choose for early morning walk, or, subscribe to a late night book club? It sounds very interesting. So that was our last question. I think you all had made some choices. Yeah, early morning walk, book club. Yeah. So my question would be to you all is that, was there, place where you thought twice before making a choice? Or was there a struggle to choose between the two? Oh, I like both of it. I don't know which one to choose. So if any of you could share, like, or it was all very easy choices.
Well, for me, sorry, somebody speaking. Well, for me, it was a very, very clear and easy choice. I did not have to think twice.
Yeah, Heidi, I want to vote for all. They were all hard choices. Yes. Okay.
I would have liked both party as well as coffee alone.
Yeah. So every time we do this exercise, we do get this answer of choosing both, or I neither like both of this. But the fact is, choosing both is also, some way connects to our personality. My teachers always told me, like, when you're standing, it always gives you a comfort standing in the middle and then saying, I can go here or there, but you will never go on both roads. You're going to stand there forever. So I'm also that kind of a person. So where I would say, no, I just want to, work with 3 to 6 years old also, and then 6 to 12 years also. So, and I just keep going around and around and around in that choice. Should I go here? Should I go there? Should I go here? Should I go? So that's also a choice actually we are making. So why are these choices, very important in our life? How does this choice, contribute to us? Was there a connection between these choices? What do you guys think? Like, was there a connection? Is there, one going for early morning beach and then drinking a coffee at sunrise? Is there a connection between these two?
For me, it was a connection. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. For me, it was, I noticed that I was always choosing the social aspects, that I'm obviously an extrovert and love social, like waiting for a friend rather than eating my own meal, or not drinking my coffee by myself, wanting to have contact. So it was clearly visible to me that I was choosing, the social part.
Yes.
So for me, it was totally dependent on my memory associations. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Choices depended on the memories.
Yes. Sometimes a choice also takes us to a place, right? So for me, sometimes I feel I want to have a coffee, but it's better I go to this particular place and then sit and I have a coffee because I'm so grumpy this time. So there is lots, drinking a coffee everywhere doesn't make it very interesting for me. So that's something I understand about myself. So how do these choices play a role in my life? So how this choice related to me. So as you all said, every choice we make, either it's a story behind it. And each of this choice, defines the many layers of our life. We don't know what these layers are. It's sometimes very mixed up. So it depends on your family and your time and a lot of things. And every choice definitely contributes to us in a bigger picture of our life. So I'm just going to give you a glimpse of, what choices you made. So where does it take us? So we're just going to group these choices into 3 and then see how does it make sense as a bigger picture. So how does, these exercises, what does this exercise, points to us? So there was some choices about yoga, family meal, coffee or sunrise, coffee with sunrise, gathering and family song. It actually tells us about 2 things, about my self-care as an individual and my family time. So for some of us, having a self-care, it's quite difficult. So these are some questions I would just want to leave with you to see, where it takes you. So do you think that you're being very selfish sometimes if you put your needs first? Or do you feel guilty by doing so? But why do we feel guilty, or why not? Do you have a trouble, asking for what you need? Do you feel sometimes inadequate if you ask for help? You feel like I can do it myself all the time. And how much I love myself. Or, fulfilling a family need. Is it same as fulfilling your own need as an individual? So these are the questions I'm relating it to my own self-care. Because at the end of the day, we all are individuals, and our self-care and love is going to contribute to the bigger picture. So where it actually take me, I do agree that, self-care and family time, both are important, and it some way relates us to the mental health. Our own health as an individual. So same way, if you look at the choices we made about, our dinner routine and food and dessert, it some way relates us, as one of the participants said, to our social life, our habits, our routines, our consistency. For some people, I would also ask some of my friends, why is it so important to sleep at 8? So some of them say, hey, that's how I am. If you want to meet me, come early. So for some of us, we can just wait for the friend to come and have the dinner. So it actually, in a way, takes me to how do I choose what to eat? What are the memories that relate to me? How do I feel before or after eating a food? Because especially now, there are a lot of, diets and, physical well-being, immunity, a lot of things are coming up. But am I feeling happy after I eat what I want to eat? What are the things I consider before making a food choice? What are the basic boundaries or values I have in my own food choices? This actually, in a way, connects us to physical health. So this is a famous quote from, from the writer, Andy Andrews. Are we making a choice in a life, or choices make us? Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this exercise. So I'm going to stop here and let you all think more about this, because it's one profound question I always had. Am I making this choice, or the choice I'm making is just pushing me over to this corner? So, to the person I want to be. So, so over to Mashuda for the next exercise.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ramya. So with the flow, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Am I visible?
Yes.
Yes.
So what I'm going to tell is a little bit with what Ramya said. This is things which you need to ponder. Maybe it is not authentic what I'm going to tell, but it makes sense. Actually, in life, choices are inevitable. Although they may at the outset be very small, as we are presented with monumental choices every day in our life, do you think we truly understand the choice that we make? And actually, we feel that good things happen to us just like that, and whatever bad things happen in life, we feel that is our choice. What we need to realize is that it is what we are and what we choose that makes our life. At the outset, and we also fail to realize that in our day-to-day life, we make numerous choices that influence the outcome of all the areas of our life. Actually, life is made up of endless choices, endless amount of choices. So instead of procrastinating in the fear of making a wrong choice, let's face the option before us with courage and confidence. Now, with the help of Ramya, can you share those fairy tale birthing?
Yes.
The first one.
Yeah.
So what I would like to say is, with reference to these stories, life has given us lots of choices. There are choices which we make and we feel, yeah, that is the right choice that we made in our life. So to emphasize on this point, hope you all remember the story. Most of us must be knowing the story of the Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack at the outset was for a poor family, and the only income for the family was the cow's milk. One day what happens, the cow stopped giving milk, and the mother wants Jack to go and sell the cow so that they earn a living. Jack is not happy about this decision, but he has no other option. He takes the cow to the market, but he does not sell it. He sits there for a very long time. And on his return, he finds a man who gives him, a stranger, who gives him 5 magic beans and tells him, take these beans and give me a cow. These beans are magic. It was very stupid to take those 5 beans and give the cow away. But Jack thought for a while, why not? Let's try it. So he took the decision of taking the 5 magic beans and giving the cow away. So we all know the story, what happened. Jack took those 5 beans home, gave it to his mother. The mother was very angry. She threw the beans out of the window. And in the morning, they were surprised to see a big tree over there. And we know what happened next. So according to Jack, whatever he chose was right, and it changed his life. Maybe we are right or wrong, but there are few situations in our life when we take a choice and we are responsible on it. So if we take the story of the Little Red Riding Hood, this is a choice that we take, and few people are very adventurous. They love to take risk. They just say, let's do it and see whether it's good or not. So this is a choice that we know which might be dangerous or harmful to us, but yet we take and later on feel. So when I talk about this Little Red Riding Hood, she was instructed by her mother not to go out in the meadow and play while reaching her grandma's place. But what she did, she stopped in the meadow, played in the meadow, collected flowers, and without her knowledge, what did she earn? She earned the wrath of the wolf. And we know the story. Had she listened to her mother and went straight to her granny's house, she would have not faced that adventure. And yet another set of choice we have in our life, that we cannot take a choice. The famous story of Pinocchio. We all know. You know, Gapito was a woodcutter. I'm sorry, he was a wooden craftsman where he made a small toy and he named as a Pinocchio. And he dreamt of this little toy becoming a little boy. And the blue fairy comes in, and what happens? The toy turns into the little boy. But what happens? As he tells lies, his nose grows longer and longer and longer. But eventually what happens? He understands his fault and things go right. So now I have given you the reference of few stories. One is Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, and Pinocchio. I will stop. Ramya, please stop sharing the screen. Ramya, can you hear me? Yeah. So, can anyone speak up and let me know how choices has affected your life?
May I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So, fine. Okay. Basically, I'm I educated myself to become a software professional, and slowly I took different choices in life over time as the lives took me into different paths. I took different choices. And I took up all the choices, whatever, I felt it is fine at this point of time. I took it up and then started working on. But now I am in a position that I could turn back and see what are the choices I made. And it has created a trail for me or a clear picture for me to become what I have become today. So every choice I made has contributed a little bit of learning to what I'm doing right today. So I really feel so happy to make the choice on those days, and I thoroughly enjoy, the benefit of making the choice in the profession that I do today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do anyone else want to share in this? Yes, Amrita?
Actually, I was just thinking what you said. So there are 2, 3 things after Ramya spoke and you spoke that came in my mind, like, choosing a dessert or an apple. Even though sometimes we know an apple is healthier, but we make a wrong choice knowing we are making a wrong choice. So, and it also depends on our frame of mind that time. If we are very happy and we are like really striving for a healthy lifestyle that day, and someday if we are very upset, we might just want to like binge. So these are of course small choices in life, but they are bigger decisions that we end up making. And as Sri Devi just said, that we keep learning from them. Sometimes we carry a baggage of regretting them also, and then we realize that we just need to move forward. So choices shape us every day, and over the years there's a layer that the kind of choices we've made and we make our life professionally, relationship, with children, financially, even the investments. I think everywhere choices are around us. So even like getting up at 8:30 and doing the storytelling, or like the festival, or not doing it at 8:30 is a choice, right?
That's true.
So
thank you very much. Anyone else? Can we have one more? Yes, Kajal, I'm hearing you.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. What I believe is not even making a choice is a choice. Sometimes we fool ourselves thinking that, okay, let's not do anything, save ourselves. But that is also a choice. And I really liked what you both said. It depends on us, what the outcome is. Now, if we take a pause and think, of the choices that we are making and the longer ripples that it would create, it would actually be very helpful. It's what you spoke, really makes me reflect to be a little mindful of my choices.
Thank you
Take
so
a
much.
second or 2 seconds to think over, because we are very quick at making choices. I want this, no, I want that, but we don't take the pause.
That's true.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kajal. So can we move forward? We have an interesting exercise. Can we do it? Yeah. Ramya, can you please share me that slide of questions? Ramya, can you hear me? The questions, Ramya. The next slide.
Yeah, just a second, Mashuda. I'm just
Okay,
sharing.
no problem. No problem. Yeah. Now, Eric, can you hear me, Eric?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. I'll just give a little bit of instructions. I would like to send them into a break room of
Okay.
6 to 7 minutes. I want to be them to be divided into 3 groups.
Okay.
What I expect is take a story, and any one of the story. There are 3 stories which I told. One is Jack and the Beanstalk, the other is Pinocchio, and one more is the Little Red Riding Hood. What I take that story and change the decision and tell us what would have happened if it was the other side of the coin. For example, if Jack had not sold his cow for the magic beans, how the story would have changed. If Little Red Riding Hood listened to her mom and went straight to her granny's house, what would have the story been? If Pinocchio stopped telling lies, he never told a lie, and his nose never grew, what would have the story been? You can talk to each other and come with 2 or 3 lines of anything, and just change the story with the decision. This will help us to go further with the workshop. Can we do it now, or you want me to repeat it?
No, we can do it.
Yeah, let this be on the screen. Ramya, let this question, the slide share, be on the screen.
No, I think we have to come out of screen share
Okay, no
in order
problem.
to do the breakout rooms.
So can we go into the breakout room? 6 to 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to make 3 rooms,
Yeah,
and I'll also include people who don't have their cameras on.
definitely. Okay.
And Mashuda and Ramya, if you get put into a room and you want to come out, just come back, just come out.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'll open the rooms now. So this will be for 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay, very good. And
Yeah.
And close the rooms. They'll be here in 10 seconds.
Mashuda, if I can share something, I think the time you gave us wasn't enough. Some of us couldn't share. I think there were about 8 of us in one room. So it was very limited the time. Only 3 or 4 of us could speak. Mashuda, you're on mute.
Actually, the main idea for this exercise is, ma'am, to make ourselves understand that the choice we make has an impact on our future. That is the point I wanted to bring out. Hope. So, what did you select, ma'am? Which story you selected?
I think we discussed all stories. We discussed all 3 because we had no idea. Only I think I understood a little bit, but most of us didn't understand whether we were supposed to discuss one particular story. So I think 3 stories we discussed, and I think it would have been nice. It would have been nice, Mashuda, if everybody could have given their perspective. It's such a big learning, because each one brings their own perspective. It's a learning for all of us.
Yeah,
so I think more time would have had 1 minute per person, perhaps, and you could have given us that instruction 1 minute per person. It would have really made such a big learning. It was a huge learning for us.
Sure, Renu. We'll keep this in mind. Yeah, we'll keep this in mind.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, the main purpose of getting you into the room is we don't give a second thought to the choice we make in life, and that is what has an impact on our life. Can anyone share a story where you changed the ending and how the story went on? Anyone, please? Hello?
I can, hello, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, ma'am.
Yeah. So I can continue because I was stopped in the middle.
Yeah,
so
please
let's
continue.
say, I'm thinking of little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
That she is walking. She's doing what her mother says, and that she's walking straight to her grandmother, and they are sitting there and eating. And the way that she's very polite all the time, it means that they have there's a danger outside in the world that they don't know about, and they have a protector. They have the hunter who's their friend, and he is the protection. But there is she's kind, she's sweet, but still there's something out there that is dangerous, but she doesn't know what it is. So she's protected. And that makes me, that's uncomfortable. You don't know what the danger is. That is my point of view.
Okay. So being adventurous is in one way learning from the experiences. That is what you mean. Being adventurous is one way to learn from the experiences.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the wonderful thought, ma'am. So any other thing that you would like to bring out, ma'am?
No, not for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anyone who wants to share how the story changed with the decision they made?
Yeah, I'll go for that. So I thought like every child has so many dangers outside. You cannot prevent them from facing any danger. So I would personally take it like I would ask my mom, what can I do if I face that? You're asking me not to go. But what is that I can do? How can I get prepared to meet that danger? And when I meet the danger, I am still more prepared how to handle it. And if I'm not capable, take the help from others. That is my thing.
That's a wonderful thought. That's a really wonderful thought. So anyone else would like to share? Anyone else? Can we move on?
Yeah,
Yes,
just a second, Mashuda. Like, if any of you, was talking in the room and then felt that we just brought you back from the room, you could just continue it here. You can share your views for another couple of minutes. So before we move on,
in our room, Beena did not get a chance to speak. Yeah, and we were brought back here. Beena Narun, I think that's her name. Yeah.
Veena, you want to share?
Looks like she's no longer there. She's from the Nepal. Not Veena, it is Beena.
Okay,
Yeah.
Beena, yeah.
I did speak. I think it was Beena. And in our room, I think 2-3 people didn't share, but I don't know. Maybe they don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just wait for 1 more minute. Let's see if anyone wants to share more. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So yeah, before we are moving to the next, we are just going to see, I think Eric also asked me, so why choices? So you started from memory and then why choices? So I would like to make the connect because before we go on to the next one, while we all remember our memories, say if we are taking, Beanstalk story or our own stories, we all remember the memory. So maybe Jack would have remembered that I became very rich because of this bean. But a lot of times we don't realize the choice. We just leave the choice behind because there are innumerable choices we make. But we don't really, look at the part of I am making a choice and then a consequence comes. And then from this, I'm choosing a particular memory. So this, I could only, if I, could connect it in couple of years, maybe I would remember that. Or if it is a very profound choice, I would say that, yes, I made this choice, some things went on. But in many cases, especially in very good and very bad or very traumatic memories, we don't know what choice we made, why we have been there at that point, but we carry this memory very profound. So one way of looking at, your memory is that choice is a very easy point for anyone to choose. And if you study your choices, you would see that you're always, going around the same pattern, either it's square or circle, it does not matter. So you're always in that square, this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. So I always wonder, why this? So most of times it's like, I have to play two things and then I'm just holding myself to, take this, but yet I take this. So why is that? Why I can't do this? So when I reflect that, and when I wrote down in my journal, this is a choice I made, this is a choice, this is a choice. And I saw all this. When I think about this, choosing this or that memory just pops up and then it goes off, because our thoughts are also, there are thousands of thoughts. And most of these thoughts, either it's from the past and future. We don't really, look into the present. So past I did this, future I did this, so I loved it. I'm going to love it. So do I love it this time? It's not a question we are asking with every choice. So I want you all to see, at least in your day, out of 10 choices. So do I love this at this moment? Or am I taking this because I loved it yesterday, or I'm going to love this tomorrow? But what about today? So so then the next part, over to Mashuda. So we are just going into the memory. But remember, this choice is what shaping us. So I leave it to Mashuda.
Yeah. Ramya, can you please share that elephant's photo?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, this one. Can you hear me? Can I start, Ramya? Ramya, can you hear me?
Yes, Mashuda.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you can go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you the story, which is I've taken from the YouTube, and I've illustrated a little bit to suit our needs. I've named the story as a terrific thunder, and I will let you know why I have named this as a terrific thunder. Now you will be seeing this elephant in the screen. This elephant was named Thunder by the king. This elephant was very skillful He was very obedient and he was best in his fighting skills. And the king loved him, and he was elegant, he was graceful, he was enthusiastic, efficient, and extraordinary. And moreover, he was the king's favorite. So he was named as the Thunder. And you know why he was called the Terrible Thunder? Because whenever he went to the battlefield, he always returned victorious. Victory is the only name that he knew. He was a victorious elephant. So the king proudly gave him the name as the Terrible Thunder. Days passed by, and this elephant, this Terrible Thunder, this thunder was growing old. As he was growing old, the king was very attached to him because whenever the king saw him, Ramya, please remove the screen. So whenever the king saw this elephant, he was very happy because it reminded the king about how successful he was, of how he was in the battlefield. So he kept this elephant in his palace and always had a look on it. One day, this elephant was feeling very thirsty. So he thought, why not I go to the lake nearby and drink some water and just come back. On his way, he went to a lake, and as he was drinking water, it was muddy water. His leg got stuck in, and it was going in, and he was getting sunk. He was getting inside it. And suddenly he started screaming out of pain. People from far could hear him, and they rushed because this was the terrific thunder, and the terrific thunder was in trouble. They panicked. They wanted to save him. They wanted to do something, but this was not a small animal or a small thing or something like that. This was terrible thunder. It was not very easy to pull that elephant out. They did all they could, but they couldn't help him. So what they thought, they should send a word to the king, because if king comes to know something had happened to the elephant, definitely he's not going to leave them. So a word was sent to the king, and no time the king came to the spot. When the king saw, the king was very, very upset. They did all they could do, but they couldn't do anything because it was not a small animal. It was a terrific thunder. The helpless elephant who was giving up, and he was giving up in his life, and he was just sinking in, and he was sinking in the muddy water. At this point of time, a minister passed that way. And he approached the king. He told, will you listen to me, the king? The king said, yes, please go on. He said, why don't you summon the army here with the battle drums and the trumpet and play the trumpets and the battle drums around the lake? What would happen if I do that? Please do it. This is not the time for discussion. This is what the minister said. Without wasting a minute, the king ordered the army to be there as how they go into the battlefield with the battle drums, with the trumpet. And no sooner the battle scene was created around the lake, and the battle drum started ringing, the trumpet started ringing, the drum was on, tuk, 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 and the sound was going on, and things were changing. Suddenly, there was a difference in the behavior of the elephant. A dramatic thing approached there. The elephant slowly, as he heard the drums, and as he saw the army approaching to him, the elephant pulled himself out with all his might and came out of the muddy water. The people over there were spellbound. There was not a single point where there was no enthusiasm in that elephant. He saved his life, and he came out, and he won the battle of his life. He came running to the king, and he stood there. The people were all surprised. There was no word. Everyone was just silent. They didn't understand what was happening, because few minutes before, everyone had given up on the elephant, and nobody could help him. He was not even lifting up his head. At this point of time, when he heard the battle drums, he just pulled himself and came running to the king, because the enthusiasm in him was infused. He was used to win. That was within him. So he resonated himself with his memories of the battlefield, and he won the battle of his life, and he was there. So do you know why I told you the story? Can anyone tell me why I told you the story? I can see the smiles, ma'am. Veena, ma'am, I can see the smiles in your face. Can anyone tell me why I told you the story before I go forward?
It all boiled down to the decision the minister made, the choice the minister made.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
Can I share, Mashuda?
Yeah, please, ma'am.
I think the elephant chose to remember his memory, the battle memory, and he chose to save his own life and he came out.
Yes,
I think
ma'am,
that was the choice. He connected
Yeah,
with his memory of the battle.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. Exactly. Anyone else?
Also, the other aspect that I could think of, Mashuda, was the inner strength and determination that you all possess, which we don't realize. But, somehow that was when the minister told the people to do that war scene and everything, and that just came. So it was always there, but that trigger was needed.
That's the point. Yes, ma'am, you got it. Right. Anyone else would like to share?
There were so many choices that were made. The elephant chose to go and get the water. They chose to tell the king. The king chose to listen to the minister. The warriors chose to show up. Everybody chose to do their part in the story.
Can't hear you, ma'am.
How our memories can help us to make even a choice between life and death.
Ma'am, can't hear you.
Can be made through past memories. Past memories, we cannot just reject them saying, oh, we cannot live in the past, we have to live in the present. No. Past memories help us to make a good choice. Even this choice of between life and death was made because of a past memory. So it gives us a lesson that past memories are very valuable at times.
Can I share, Ramya?
Yeah, please.
Yes,
please.
Okay. So what I decipher from this is our memory makes our choice. Here the elephant, hearing to the war drums, its automatic choice was to react and find the strength. How it used to be fully charged with energy in the war. So that memory of that war drums and that sound, and it remembered how much energy and charge it had and strength it had in its body. So it made an automatic choice to use it. So memory, in a way, if I can use the word, dictates our choice many a time in life. Yeah, thank you.
Would anyone like to talk about this? I'm sorry, is my voice breaking?
Yeah, it's okay, Mashuda, you can continue.
Okay. I just got the message that my voice was breaking and the story was not.
No. Mashuda, I messaged for Indraji because she was just thinking that nobody's reacting to her story.
Yeah, Indira, sorry. Yeah, Indira ma'am, we couldn't hear what you said clearly, but we could understand that it was about past memory and then how it gives us strength. Probably you can type it.
My voice breaking?
Yeah, you can type it in the chat for us. Yeah. I think Mashuda, it's time to move on.
Yes.
I think Mashuda, it's time to move on.
Yeah. Please give that thing.
So the next part is that we are going to move on to an exercise. So have you ever stuck in a situation where you almost gave up in life, not realizing your own strength? So we are just going to do a small activity. I hope you all have a paper and pencil or something to write with you. So this is how the exercise works. We are going to take 10 minutes of quiet, 8 minutes of quiet time, and draw the first memory that comes to us. So we do have certain rules for this exercise. So if you are, a person who is a good artist, so you can just draw it to your left hand. So yeah, we are not really think about the skills we have as a person. So if you are, think that I can't draw, so you can just think it as, it's a way of expression like words. So you can just try your best to, whatever the memory that first comes to your mind, just keep drawing without a second thought. So it's, I'm just going to, everyone
Ramya,
has.
excuse me, Ramya. The memory should be where we were stuck in some difficulty.
Yeah. So
please.
Yes. We were stuck in some difficulty, and Mashuda, you want to add anything? We can add, and then we'll go to the exercise.
Actually, the memory should be just resonate yourself with that elephant, the terrific thunder. Resonate yourself and just find out whether you were in such a situation where you were struck with something and you have almost given up in life, that nothing is going to happen now, and suddenly something triggered your mind and you won your battle of life. I hope you got it.
Everyone got the question? Yeah. Yeah. So 11:20 now. We will get back at 11:28. Yeah, it's almost time. We will have another 20 seconds to close it off. Your close off the activity. Mashuda, you want me to share the PPT?
Yeah, please. The next slide. Ramya, put all the three, we are running out of time. Put all the three questions together. Hope we have done. Anyone who has done? We have put on the screen few questions.
Yes, we just have about 2 more minutes.
Yeah, that's the reason. We have put on 4 questions. Can anyone just give us a small note? What makes the memory very special? How do you resonate your current self with your memory? How did the realization come? Were you reminded about your strength, or you resonated and handled the situation all by yourself? It'd be very kind of you if anyone comes over and answers any one of the questions, or whatever. If not, what we have asked, anything that you feel special. Anything that reconnected you with your memory. Ramya? Ramya, are you there?
Yeah, Mashuda.
Yeah. Would you like to ask them anything?
Yeah,
It's time to
I think we
close.
just have time to close the session.
So can we do that? Draw the circle or something, or finish it off?
Yeah.
Ask them if anyone wants to.
Yeah. So
we didn't get even one participant.
No, it's okay. Yeah. So I hope you all, walk through your memory, and unfortunately we're short of time. So I wish you all, walk through your memory very objectively and see what it tells you and how does it connects you to your present choices. I would like to leave you all with one message. So
Good.
So just a message. So our life is matter of choices, and every choice you make actually makes you. So if you even look at your sister or siblings, whoever are there in your life, so your memories are very specific to you, and your memories are very special moments that tells your own story. So though 2 people are there at the same place, your memory is something only you can resonate with. So recollect, relive, and reconnect with your memories. I hope you all enjoyed this session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
That's a
very
wonderful
much.
session. Thank you so much. Wonderful session.
Can anyone just give us some glimpse of whatever you have drawn? Share the picture at least. Can anyone share the picture? Share your picture.
The one before, the last one.
Yeah, thank you, Heidi. Yeah, I could see this. I could see it.
Can you? I can't see it.
She's just showing it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can Thank you all for joining this session. Thank you, Eric, for the wonderful
Thank you very much.
opportunity.
Thank you very much, Eric, for giving us this wonderful platform.
Thank you. It was a wonderful workshop.
Thank you so much.
Great.
If you have any insight, you can mail us.
Very good.